Kempire is brought to you by.
Happy New Year, guys. Thank you so much, first of all, for those that rated and reviewed the Kempire podcast in 2024. But if you haven't rated and reviewed us 5 stars already on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, do it today. We're trying to reach 1,000 reviews on Kempire's podcast, on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. Be sure to tell us what you love about the podcast. Washington, D.C., the Kempire After Dark live experience is returning to your city for another live show. If you haven't already, get your tickets today for our meet and greets, and general admission are still available. Then New York City, you're up next. We're coming back for Black History Month. So if you want to hear us talk about hot topics, housewives, and more, get your tickets for our Friday, February 21st live show at the Green Room 42. More information on Washington, D.C. and New York City will be available in the description. Sidebar, don't forget, New York City, you have a special live stream ticket available as well. Again, more information will be available in the description notes. You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Welcome back, guys. Happy Sunday. This is our weekly recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville with a splash of Belle Collective. We're going to talk about that, but before we do any of that, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Will start to show up on your algorithm, and on your Explorer page. So a lot of you've discovered me in that way. This is how you will discover other channels that talk about pop culture news and also talk about Belle Collective or Love and Marriage Huntsville. If you had to rate last night's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, how would you rate it from 1 to 10? Also, let us know how you would rate part 2 of the Belle Collective reunion as well from 1 to 10. How are you guys doing? How's your New Year's going? First 5 days into the new year, I've seen so many conspiracy theories. I've seen so many predictions in regards to astrology, who's going to be the winners this year, what people need to work. I've seen so many things. I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I need a social media break because all of the conspiracy theories and speculation will make you not start the year off great. So start your new year off with some affirmations in the morning, maybe a little less social media. And if that means a little less of me, I understand. Whatever's going to make you feel good. But some of you say, I help you feel good. So a little more of me. Okay. Just saying. Shout out to everyone that's watching from around the country and around the world. We appreciate you guys. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know where you are watching from and how you would rate Belle Collective Reunion Part 2 and Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay. First of all, Love and Marriage Huntsville, these episode numbers, I don't know. Our friends over at OMFG Reality TV tell us it's season 5, episode 25 or something like that. And I'm like, where y'all get that at? According to YouTube TV, this is season 9, episode 10. But it goes back to what Winter from Love and Marriage DC said. Sidebar, is that coming back? Is that coming back? I haven't heard them filming. I haven't heard anything. Now I'm kind of interested, not because I was interested in the show, just because I'm like, is it coming back? I mean, we see a lot of other things happening over there at OWN when it comes to Carlos and the things that he has going on, but I haven't heard anything about Love and Marriage DC. But some of you might say, who cares? I will say, though, when I went to Washington, D.C., a lot of the folks there cared. And I think it's because when it's your neighborhood, when it's your city, you're a little bit more invested. Remember, there was a time a couple of years ago, I said, I want a Love and Marriage Brooklyn. Lamb. Remember I used to want that? I didn't forget. Do I want it now? No. Maybe a different production company doing it. I just don't love the way that Carlos's team or himself produce reality television, at least on OWN. I don't know. Maybe they need a bigger budget. I don't know. I don't love it. Well, that's a perfect transition to talk about Belle Collective. Belle Collective reunion. I know I have not recapped Belle Collective in quite some time, but then I got reinvested after Aisha gagged Carlos on his own YouTube channel by quitting live on air, where he was like, what? Yes. Then so Gucci has now announced this past week that she also will not be returning. And apparently things are on the mend between JJ Soguchi and Selena. You couldn't tell from the reunion. I thought a lot more happened at the reunion. Maybe it did, and they just didn't include it. And that's part of the reason why Soguchi decided not to return this season of the Belle Collective. Maybe that's part of her motivation behind not returning. Now, so Gucci's out, Aikisha's out. So the only people left, I honestly, I didn't watch the season, so I don't know what else Selena has going on. But for me, if So Gucci's gone, Selena's gone. Okay? Marie had a lot going on this season. I mean, for me, I know Marie has not been my favorite throughout the years of watching Belle Collective. However, I feel like she's such in a good space. I mean, and I'm actually surprised that Leticia, God, I didn't remember, I've been mispronouncing her name this entire time. I'm surprised that Leticia doesn't have a problem with Marie, because Marie's so successful, got her doctorate, Dr. Marie, I'm going to call her. She's so successful because Leticia seems like she's always bothered by anyone that has a little bit more than she does. But maybe because they've been friends for so long, she doesn't feel intimidated by her. I'm today years old. I found out because I was looking for a photo for the thumbnail. So I went to Leticia's Instagram. I was dumbfounded that she's following me. What? Huh? Okay. Elsington says the floor background of the reunion set was spectacular. I have to take back something that I said a couple of weeks ago, because I was like, what is going? Because I only saw like a clip on Instagram of the reunion set. Seeing it on television, it definitely looks better. However, that struggle bus Belle sign that they had in front of the flowers, I was like, they could have did a little bit better. Can I add? Mr. Melody Magic says, Tambra's your girl count. He's being facetious, y'all. Because I still have no idea why Tambra is still on this show. What exactly is she bringing to the show? But okay, fine. They start off the reunion with Antoinette. You remember Antoinette, the dentist, was building a business in Mississippi. We found out in the reunion that Antoinette actually sold her business. I don't know if she has other businesses in Florida. I know she's back in Florida. And they asked her the question, do you want to return to Belle Collective? Her response gave me, if you read between the lines, yes. Even though she says that she lost money from being on the show. And some people found they were dumbfounded by that. Some people also felt like she was throwing shade at the other women when she said that she doesn't feel like the show has brought them anything. If anything, that was shade towards Carlos. I can see how it didn't bring anything to her besides notoriety on being on the show. I don't think it's necessarily going to bring customers to her dental practice. I mean, she doesn't have the dental practice anymore because she sold it. Good for her. Leticia thought she was doing something by saying, are you practicing? First of all, at the end of the day, Antoinette is a dentist. So if she's not practicing right now, please understand she could practice tomorrow and still be more successful than you, Leticia. Like, she always hating. Although Antoinette is not my favorite, and even in this reunion, it kind of was like, yeah, girl, we're good on you. I'm okay with you not returning. I'm good with you not returning. How do you guys feel about the women and their businesses? The only businesses that I saw on here that actually seem like it's an actual business of where you can go and buy something is Latrice. I don't know what Selena does, in all fairness. We don't know what Pearson Enterprises is. We found out there's a new business happening right now. Pearson and Pearson. Although I have not watched the show in a long time, but I remember what went down between Glenn and Leticia. I can't believe she's still with this man, or at least still playing out this relationship on national television. Like, Glenn is some prize, as Antoinette says. Glenn? Just saying. Dee Dee says, why was Antoinette there? Antoinette was a part of the season, so that was part of the reason why she was there. Carlos wanted to ask her the question, would you return? And her response she said she made it seem like she didn't want to return. Clearly she did. I don't know why. I mean, but a lot of people want to watch these shows for successful Black, entrepreneurs. And I think we need to start normalizing other professions other than being a reality TV star, like, becoming a dentist, becoming a doctor, those types of things. I think we need to start normalizing that a little bit more in 2025. And maybe we will by talking about it. But I don't know what else is going on with Antoinette. Based off what I saw from her this season and from the reunion, I was like, okay, we're all right. We're all right with you. I'd much rather you leave on a good note and that you're fine. You sold your business. You're good. You don't need this. Okay? While the other folks on this show might need it more. Okay? I just don't understand why Dr. Marie is even on there. She's quite successful. For those that don't know, the business that Marie's in, she is a millionaire. That is a powerful, strong business in this country. There are plenty of people like Marie that are in that business. I know somebody in that business down south, and a millionaire. Okay. So Marie really is that girl. I don't know if we've said that before in the past, but no, Marie really is that girl when it comes to making money on the show. That's why part of me surprised that Leticia doesn't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? But maybe because, Marie has other things going on in her life. All right. What else happened in this reunion? They had a segment for the men, which felt pointless. It did kind of give me an update in regards to what happened between Willie and the other guys, specifically Cliff and Glenn. Carlos tried to resolve those issues. It felt rushed, though. It didn't feel like, I was like, okay, why did we have this segment? It didn't feel like the men really resolved anything. Willie doesn't see it for Cliff. Cliff, the entire time he was out there, I'm watching Latrice backstage. I almost completely forgot about the abuse allegations and how we all were concerned. That was like the last time we talked about Belle Collective. We were like, is she in an abusive relationship? And her body language, we're body language experts over here, facetiously. Backstage, the way that she was she looked uncomfortable. So I'm never going to be Team Cliff, ever. Because something's not right with that situation. Okay. And what makes Willie even more sexy is the fact that he but you get what I'm saying. He embraces a powerful woman. He embraces the power of his wife because he's strong in his own right in regards to his businesses, his success. But you could see how he still praises and worships the ground that his wife walks on, which is the complete opposite of what we see with Cliff and Latrice, who supposedly has these two successful businesses. You wouldn't think that you'd be in this type of situation. You wouldn't think. But I was uncomfortable with her sitting backstage looking uncomfortable. Ooh, Tiffany, you're right, because I did see a clip. I saw a clip. Tiffany says, Carlos skipped over Leticia and Glenn trying to set up Willie. That apparently Willie, I saw a clip on OWN's shorts that they have on YouTube where Aikisha talked about that. How they tried to set up Willie like he was talking to some white woman or something like that, or cheating on Aikisha. I was like, those are some serious allegations. Serious allegations. I don't blame Aikisha and Willie. It's based off of the cliff notes that I've gotten for this season. Oh, you guys are better off. You guys are better off not being on the show. Leticia is always going to be pressed by you for whatever reason. She was pressed from the moment you walked on there. You had a business on Ferris Street. We already know Aikisha is going to continue to do something for Ferris Street, that she has a business there. This is her hometown. She's invested. Okay. So what else happened in this reunion? So the husband segment for me wasn't a lot. Then we had the husbands come out with the wives. Again, another segment. The husbands barely said much of nothing in that. They did talk about JJ and his relationship with Selena and co-parenting. Selena's still upset with JJ because the kids have reached out to him as opposed to him reaching out to them. Fine. Honestly, based off what I saw from the reunion, I really don't care, to be honest with you. Bab says Willie and Aikisha were everything. They were perfect for the show. They were a good balance for the show, especially when you see so many of the relationships on the show are not the best. So I don't know what they're going to do for season 5. Again, Carlos and I'm sure production were not ready for them to drop out. And they probably also weren't ready for Soguchi to drop out, because Soguchi in her post also said that she got her pickup letter to return for next season. But they are focused on mending the family that they have. I can appreciate that. Damn, Mr. Melometer says, Owen and Carlos are always going to the cheapest state to save money. What? I don't know. I don't know if it's that. Jasmine says, Glenn backpedaled on what he meant by the PYT, and he has Aikisha. Yeah, because he was trying to insinuate that Aikisha is not a pretty young thing in comparison to Latrice and Cliff's relationship. And I'm just like, okay, Glenn, you have no room to talk about anything. They asked Glenn, because Glenn, I guess during the season, I guess we saw it in the reunion, quit his job, no health insurance. Letitia said that Letitia gave an update in regards to her health. She said, everything's good. There's something about Letitia that gives me Mia be lying. Mia from our Real Housewives of Potomac. The whole enterprise. Now, Glenn, when asked about what he's doing for work, Glenn is doing some box truck business, and Letitia had to jump in and is like, yeah, we got Pearson and Pearson Enterprise. Okay. Pinky on my TikTok says she speaks over Glenn. She's the spokesperson. She's got to, because she's got to keep the lies together. Glenn is not a good liar like she is. That's why she caught him cheating so many times, allegedly. Exactly. Dee said Little Boosie 2.0 is a joke. He does look like a Little Boosie. We all have busy lives, and I know especially around the holidays, cooking, cleaning, shopping, returning gifts makes it even busier. So why not make it a lot easier when it comes to preparing your meals in just 2 minutes? Our friends over at Factor Meals are back here again to sponsor today's live recap. And they have actually some good news, especially for those that have New Year's resolutions to lose weight. Ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that makes eating, well, easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes so that you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Why not lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals based on randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto? Results will vary depending on diet and exercise. And as always, we've gotten you a deal. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/Kempire50 off and use code Kempire50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code Kempire50 off at factormeals.com/Kempire50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. More information on Factor Meals and your discount will be available in the description. Now let's get back to the show. Shar says that Akeisha and Willie are a good balance, yet don't blend. I could see that. But honestly, they needed more Akeisha and Willie's on this show versus what we have on the show. Just saying. They needed probably more of them. And maybe Akeisha and Willie could have brought some of their friends that are from the area to be there on this cast. But they've now quit. How would you guys rate this reunion? Based off the reunion, a lot of time was wasted. I told you in part 1, them introducing each housewife, Carlos making the show more about him. Even in part 2, why are we looking at an S toy that you use, an intimate toy? Why are we watching Carlos put his finger in one of those? I know they blurred it out, but I'm thinking to myself, first of all, Carlos spent too much time making it about him, quoting himself. He said, Can Carlos King get Latrice and Maurice a hug? You are Carlos King, sir. We don't need the theatrics. Why are we watching Carlos walk into the this is not about you. This is why people like him you should not work with, because he's always going to be about elevating himself over you. He's always going to choose himself over you than the success of his own show. That's quite telling. But we already know that. Amidst says that Carlos wants to be a real housewife. And honestly, I would point it out if I felt like, no, well, this is what, Andy does. Even Andy wants to be the star too. I'm never going to take that away from Andy Cohen. Andy wants to be the star too, but Andy plays it differently. Andy's not quoting himself during the reunion. Andy's not over talking the women. Okay? So I didn't love that. I noticed that a lot in part 1 and in part 2. I was just like, okay, this is not about them. We're not really trying to resolve any of these people's issues. You're just trying to have a moment. I will say I did like Carlos's suit. The suit was good. One thing he does have up on Andy, he can definitely dress a lot better than Andy because he actually looks like he gets his suits tailored. Okay? He does. Look, see? Balance. I'm giving you balance. I didn't love how he hosted the reunion. However, I did like his suit. And I liked the color. And it was tailored. Okay. Tennessee Girl says that Carlos is obvious with his thirst. But maybe we should appreciate that. Maybe we should appreciate that he's not trying to hide it. Maybe Andy Cohen hides it, even though we know Andy Cohen also wants to be the star. All right. Kamani says that, yeah, Carlos was trying to stir up all the mess for his faves. And clearly his fave is Leticia. He clearly, that's his fave. I don't know why, but here we are. Soke or Soki, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It says South Africa in the house. Carlos is over the show. You don't see Mona of Love and Hip Hop in reunion shows. Mona stepped aside. And I think because Mona was getting a lot of heat being the reunion host. But this always goes back to what I've said before. I feel the same thing with Andy Cohen. Andy does not need to host a reunion. It's not because he's not good at it, not because he needs to do it. Andy doesn't need to do it. Andy's going to get paid regardless. Maybe it's cheaper for the network, but I can't imagine it being cheaper for the network. You're not paying Andy Cohen one big lump sum of money to do production and host. He's getting paid to be the host. He's getting paid to be an executive producer and residuals. So they could easily pay up and coming talent probably a lot less than what they're paying Andy Cohen. Just saying. Clearly, I literally was reminded because some old clips of Love and Marriage Huntsville and Belle Collective been coming up on my YouTube. And I forgot that Egypt, you remember Egypt, who's a real estate agent, radio personality, TV person. She's done everything. She used to host those reunions. Last week we said we want to see Dustin do it. Now we want to see, because, Egypt doesn't need the job. Egypt's busy. I would like to see a new host. Carlos, you have everything else going. You got your YouTube channel, you got your podcast, and apparently this new show on OWN. They're trying it again. I thought we tried the nighttime show with Carlos and it didn't work. And it was canceled. Okay, fine. Apparently we're trying it again. You have all this other stuff. For the reunions, why not give an up and coming talent an opportunity? Not me. I don't want it. No, thank you. Why not give an up-and-coming talent, or not even necessarily up-and-coming talent, because I don't really consider Dustin up-and-coming, but why not give him that opportunity? He works with you on your YouTube channel, so why not that? Just saying. Elisa says, Kempire, would you try at it for hosting? Nope. Not that. Not that. Just saying. All right. Let me say thank you. Gracie, thank you so much for the super chat. Gracie says, the canned vajayjay moment was tasteless. That was a serious matter about menopause. Oh, see, I didn't know the context about why JJ gave Willie that stuff. Oh, so there was a larger conversation. And mind you, they didn't even talk about that. They just made it a joke. I agree. It was like, I was like, what am I watching? And I know some people are saying that our society is too woke, but in a lot of ways, no. We have to remember that this is a work environment. We have the boss playing with a toy in front of the cast. They looked uncomfortable, to be honest with you. I know some people were laughing, but they look for the most part uncomfortable. Just saying. All right. Anything else? Okay. The husbands leave. Again, another wasted moment. Why are we spending a good minute showing Carlos hug the husbands as they leave the set? Why? Why are we watching that? Like, production-wise, I didn't love how we transitioned from different topics. I didn't love those transitions. I didn't love part two. I felt like I actually thought after part one, oh, there's still more to unpack. And this is someone that did not watch the season, so I'm thinking there's more to unpack. And apparently there was more to unpack. It just was cut up and spliced just in a weird way. But here we are. How would you rate the Belle Collective reunion from 1 to 10? Based on what I watched from part 1 and part 2, if I had to rate both, I'm going to probably give it a 5. Just because I didn't feel like it was terrible, but I also didn't feel like it was great, in my humble opinion. Okay. Ms. Diva says that Dustin would be great hosting the reunion. Why not? Libra's perspective said Melody unfollowed Carlos. Guys, we did do a separate video a couple of days ago, or it wasn't yesterday. Yeah, a couple of days ago, I think on Friday, we did a video talking about Melody supposedly either unfollowed Carlos, blocked Carlos, or removed him as a follower. We don't know. Okay? We don't know. Queen Tiffany says that part 2 was a waste. It really did. It felt like a waste by the time I finished watching it. Speaking of Carlos and Melody, let's get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. But before we do that, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. And don't forget, you can hear a audio version of our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. Subscribe today. And don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Thank you to all of you that have rated us already on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. We appreciate you. And shout out to those of you that have been leaving comments on the Spotify episodes, because I forgot that you could do that. I'm not sure if you can do that with Apple. I know you can leave a review, but different episodes you can leave comments. So I've been trying to at least reply to 1 or 2 comments on the podcast. Okay. I do want to say thank you to the center. As you know, back in June we raised money for Pride Month. We every for Breast Cancer Awareness Month we raised money. Pride Month we raised money. Well, this year, back in August, they sent us a letter to say thank you for our donations. They sent 2 letters because I guess maybe YouTube paid them a certain amount at one particular point and then paid another certain amount. Again, anytime we do a fundraiser, YouTube giving gives 100% to the organization. So I just want to say thank you to the center, the LGBTQIA plus center here in New York City, where we raised, I believe it was like over $2,000 that we raised. Because we got 2 different letters here. They said, "Dear friends at the Kempire LLC, thank you for your generous donation of $1,589.63. They also sent another letter at the end of the month for an additional $644.53 to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community center. The center is a safe and affirming space for LGBTQ plus New Yorkers to connect, activate, and thrive. We are committed to serving anyone who turns to us and are only able to uphold that commitment through the support of people like you." Okay? It is because of your generosity that we can continue to grow and meet the changing needs of our vibrant community. Your contribution supports our life-enhancing and life-saving services for countless community members spanning the areas of advocacy, health and wellness, recovery, youth, families, and the arts. We would love the opportunity to show you and your team the impact your donation makes on all LGBTQ plus New Yorkers. Please let us know if you would like to schedule a tour by emailing blah, 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 blah. I've been there. I've been there for years. That's part of the reason why we decided to raise money for Pride Month. So I just want to extend the thank you to our community that helped us raise money back in June for the center. Okay. So thank you. We're going to continue to do that again for 2025. So guys, let's double what we raised last year. I promise I will start it early. Maybe I'll start it in May. And we'll try and raise over $5,000 for the LGBTQIA, the center, here in New York City. Thank you to them for that. We appreciate their support. All right. So, Love and Marriage Huntsville. If you had to rate this week's episode from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? I'm going to give it a 10. You know why? Because I can't believe that we have come to this particular point in our coverage of Love and Marriage Huntsville that I have to say, Marceau was a bright light in this episode. In a variety of ways. He made me laugh. He made sense when speaking to Marquez. But for me, Marceau, I might be a Marsoldier. Who's a Marsoldier? Raise your hand. Okay? Raise your hand. Who is a Marsoldier? Espos rise. Are those the same as the Espos? No, because honestly, I think if Trisha was in town, she wouldn't have gone with Marceau to this. Well, maybe she would have went with Marceau, but she wouldn't have went on her own. Because those Melometers, I think the Melometers like Marceau, but don't like Trisha, which is so crazy to me. Crazy to me. So Marceau. Oh, damn. I didn't mean to bring that up. Even though Marceau made a comment about, when they found out that Moses was in jail, he's like, if you're going to be on this platform at some particular point, you're going to end up in jail. And I was like, ooh, let's hope that's not, you telling the future of your own. But here we are. Just say. Anyways, but for me, Marceau was the bright light in this episode. In so many ways, he made me laugh. Him and Melody, they were like the dynamic duo of this episode. All right, so let me start from the beginning. So for those that I was planning to talk about Melody unfollowing Carlos. However, we did cover that in a separate video a couple of days ago. For those that may have missed it, I'll just remind you that we did talk about that. I was planning just to talk about it here, but, we had other stuff that we wanted to talk about, so we talked about that. All right? Tiffany says, not the booking pick. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's in my arsenal back here. Okay. Anyway, so at the top of this week's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, we have Nell and Chris at lunch. That pizza looked good. I love a good pizza. Anyways, it's not about the pizza. Okay, fine. So they're rehashing. First of all, again, a Carlos King production. Why did we have a good 10 seconds, maybe long? It felt like forever of us watching Nell and Chris Fletcher chew. And mind you, they're mic'd. So we're hearing. I've never seen that on reality television before. I've never seen that on reality television before. I was like, why are we? Is this a mukbang? What are we doing? What? That should have been edited out, editors. We shouldn't have had that. Maybe they wanted to have that awkward moment between Nell and Chris because they're going to talk about Chris supposedly introducing Trish and Martel. But Lakia says, I thought it was my TV. Trauma Queen says, budget cuts. See, I have to point these things out to you guys to just to make sure that you're not going insane. Ms. Beverly says, that was annoying. I'm like, why wasn't this cut out? Or why wasn't the volume on their chewing turned down? Maybe the editor thought this would be funny. It was so weird. Because I've eaten on live before. I don't make it a habit, but we were doing an informal live. And all of you said, oh, Kempire, don't do that. We don't want to. And I was like, fine, then I just won't go live. I need to prioritize my food. But... And mind you, I've never done that before. I only did because some of you said, oh, you should just come on live. No, because I don't want to end up like that. I don't want to end up like that. I'm like, what is going on? Okay, fine. Anyway, that scene wasn't even about that. So Chris recalls, honestly, Chris, after rewatching it, a Libra's perspective says that Nell has the best body. Can we talk about that? First, let me tell you something. When Nell walked into the mimosas with Melody, and mind you, she is the oldest probably of this group, and she looked the best. Come on, you better give Nell her props. She walks in, I said, look at Nell. And then I saw all the other cast members walk in, I was like, okay, like that. Nell is putting y'all to shame. Okay? Elle Fisher says that was an ASMR moment. I like ASMR, and that was not ASMR. Even though they do have some people that do like the chewing and stuff like, no, that's not my type. Nope. Don't want it. Anyways, Chris Fletcher, after watching this and you explain how you possibly hooked up Trish, a family member, with Martel, it's not making sense. It's not making sense. And at first I was sort of like, Nell, why are we making a big deal of this? And I'm like, no, it's probably good that you're making a big deal about this because Chris's story is not making sense to me because he says that he was at the gym and Martel was looking for a new gym. He's like, any pretty women there? Okay, this is not how I choose my gym. When I was going to a regular gym, do you choose your gym based off men, women? I know y'all don't do that, but maybe you do. Fine, chime in. Do you choose your gym based off of the people and how they look at the gym? I thought you based the gym off of what's available. Do they have equipment? Do they have showers? Do they provide towel service? What other amenities do they provide? What's their cardio equipment like? How old is the equipment? But I wouldn't be surprised though, Martel, because he's shallow, he has no depth. I wouldn't be surprised that he's basing off his gym membership on who he could hook up with. But then I'm finding it interesting that Chris Fletcher entertained this conversation, and apparently Trish walked by him and he mentioned Trish. He gave Trish his last name because she's a family member on his mom's side. He gave Trish's last name, and somehow Martel, less than smart, Holt, was able to figure out based off the last name who it was. Something's not clicking for me. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay? You know her last name. Mind you, she's married. So you knew her last name or you knew her family name. So I'm a little confused. I'm not saying that's impossible, but something about that story is not clicking for me. Lisa said they only have one gym in Huntsville. Stop lying. That's not true. Is it? Look. It's not true, right? But why are we still talking about this situation? Unique says, Kemp, we are not desperate like Hotel. Martel. I don't know. I don't know if I believe Chris and I don't know if I believe Martel. I don't know if it's important on whether or not Chris hooked up Martel. And Chris says, Melody and Martel weren't together at that time. I don't think they were divorced though, right? Were they divorced at that particular time? I know they may have been separated. I don't know if they were divorced. But some people, if you're on your way to divorce, they're like, whatever. Damn, Mrs. Edith says, Chris is not only a client, but the president of the Cheaters Club. Well, here's the bad thing. And look, Nell has denied that when they got together. No, but didn't she find out while she was dating him that he was with someone else? So probably in the back of her mind, see, that's the problem if you're going to get with somebody in those types of circumstances. Because then you're always going to be in the back of your mind, are they going to do it to me? See, that's where it wouldn't work. Okay? A Libra's perspective says he said it himself. He is in denial. I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Cat from New Jersey. I think that's what the NJ stands for. Thank you for the super sticker. We appreciate your support. Thank you. Guys, you can also put support just by liking today's video. It's easy and it's free. All right. We already have 1,200 of you here. Hey, y'all. Shout out to those of you watching on Twitch and Twitter as well, and those of you watching behind the scenes here on TikTok. So let me move on because, again, I don't know how some of these scenes even make sense, but this is Carlos King production. Nell, before we leave this scene, Nell then talks about her issue with Melody. And at first, I was like, Nell, you're harping on something that doesn't need to be harped on. But then I said to myself, well, it's bigger than the fact that the word mentor. It's more like you're denying my support of you. Okay, if you put in that perspective, I'm like, okay, I can see, but Nell will harp on something. She harped on the non-situation during the trip about the room, not the room tag, the name tag. Okay, so she tells Chris that she has an issue with Melody downplaying, her being a mentor to Melody. So we're going to revisit that conversation later. But let me tell y'all something. Melody goes to, is this Credit One? Is this the same building as Credit One? Well, it's Maurice's office, okay? So Melody goes to Maurice's office to have a conversation. He invited her to have a conversation. Maurice says that he feels like Melody is disparaging his name to other people in the group, all right? And Melody says, I think you did that on your own. Here's the thing, and I said this before. I really wish that Melody never even brought up the whole lipstick thing, and I wish she would have just kept it at the whole DUI stuff. Because then I feel like now they have a reason to be upset at you because now you're spreading a rumor. Okay? And I know some of you are going to say, well, they've done that too. I'm going to speak like your mother would speak to you. Do two wrongs make a right? I wish she had never brought that up. But she did. But mind you, in this conversation between Maurice and Melody, he never even brought up the cheating rumor, which I found to be interesting. Because wouldn't you, if you didn't cheat, wouldn't that have been at the top of your mind? Wouldn't you have brought that up? And maybe he did and it was edited out. But I don't see them editing that out. If that was, because if you're talking about disparaging your character, sir, apparently you may have been under the influence of alcohol and you drove. I know it's been dismissed. He did not do a breathalyzer. Fine. But if your big issue was Melody talking about you cheating, wouldn't you have brought that up? He never even mentioned that. And I think he didn't mention that is because he wants to kind of breeze over that. He wants that conversation to stop. He doesn't want that to be the continued conversation. So he never, the cheating and the lipstick stuff never came up. He just referred to it as disparaging his character. Melody says, I think you did that yourself. And I love the fact that Melody, because look, I'm not a Melometer. because we're going to call people out when they're wrong. But in this moment, in this conversation, and in the beginning when we first recapped Love and Marriage Huntsville, I was like, I don't mind. I really liked Kimmy. I didn't mind Maurice, but y'all clocked Maurice a long time ago. I'm willing to say when I'm wrong. But now I'm starting to see what a lot of you have been seeing when it came to Maurice from years ago. And the way that he tried to gaslight Melody about her being unhappy, I'm so glad that she clocked him. She's like, you're not around me. You don't know if who I am or how I'm living. And then he tried to make it seem like, maybe because you're unhappy, when you came on this show, you didn't expect it to play out the way that it played out. And then they played that respectful cheating clip again. I was like, how is this relevant? Maybe that's why Melody unfollowed Carlos. Because I was like, why are we playing this scene of all the scenes you could have played from the last few seasons? But okay. They played that scene again. So Maurice is making these connotations that Melody might be an unhappy person and that she was coming at him because she's unhappy. No, she's doing her job as a producer and fellow cast member and bringing up the things that you guys want to brush over. And again, I wish they would have focused on the DUI of it all, but I'm glad that she clocked in. She was like, first of all, you don't know me. You haven't been around me. Because remember, last week's episode, Maurice has been trying to make it seem as, I haven't seen the real Melody in such a long time. What you mean, the Melody that was dealing with a man that was cheating on her for many, many years? That's the Melody that you want back? I'm so glad that Melody clocked him and she was just like, you haven't been around me. Also, I'm not unhappy. And what is me being unhappy in your book got to do with what you did and what you're being accused of? I have to say, watching Maurice try to gaslight, try to car salesman this conversation, because he swears that he's infallible. He swears that the things that he's calling Melody is him. He is clearly projecting in this conversation. And I'm thinking to myself, you really don't see yourself right now. You're trying to make it seem as if the fact that Melody is having a conversation about what you did and got arrested for, the fact that she's talking about that, you're making it seem she's only doing that because she's a deity, because she's unhappy. She's still unhappy about Martel cheating on her, so she's coming after me now. She's done that to everyone else, and she's not going to come after me. This conversation was to make sure that he did not feel the wrath of Melody Cherie Rogers. You saw how he apologized with the quickness, though. He's like, I apologize. But then he still took a dig. He's like, for a moment there, I thought that you were infallible. And then Melody was just like, It's good. Mind you, Melody, unlike Martel, knows what that word means. Yeah, I thought you were infallible. I thought you were. Did he say deity to her? I can't remember. And she was just like, then she was like, ah. To me, that was a dig. He apologized, but then took a dig. But Melody met him at his apology, and she was like, you gonna apologize to me? Well, you know what? I'm gonna apologize too about anything that I may have said that may have hurt you. That was that Scorpio, though. I felt like that apology was somewhat genuine, but at the same time, she was like, okay. Because I think Maurice has met his match. Everyone else, he can gaslight and overtalk and use words that might confuse some of them. Even Kimmy. I think Kimmy is, speaking of people that have changed over the years, Kimmy is not who we met how many seasons ago. She's not that same person. And this is coming from someone that was a fan of Kimmy. She was one of my favorite people on this show. Kimmy is not that woman anymore. And I think it's probably from the constant manipulation, the constant gaslighting and the overtalking and the bamboozling of words has changed Kimmy. But okay. Kisco says, that was a tennis match, lick for lick. Oh, he met his match. I don't even think it was lick for lick. He tried to, but Maurice knew that he wasn't going to win this conversation. So he backpedaled. And that's just like, you know what? I just want to apologize, because he did not want to feel the wrath of the Melometers. He didn't want to feel the wrath of Melody. And I have to say, Melody did not seem shook. She did not seem shook. Melody seemed a little bit more shook in her conversation with Kimmy than she did with him. Okay? Hey, Diane. Diane's watching from Denmark. I was in Denmark, what was it, 2 Christmases ago? I was starting to pack away some of my Christmas stuff, not the tree here yet. So some of my ornaments are from Denmark. But yeah, shout out to those of you watching around the country. We appreciate you guys being here. Guys, don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. So Maurice met his match in this conversation. But I have to say, watching the scene, and normally I don't get like passionate about something, but watching it, I was like, this man cannot be serious. He cannot be serious. And again, mind you, he never brought up the whole kissing rumor or the lipstick rumor. I was like, oh, okay. So we're not going to go there. You're not going to point that out, because if it wasn't true, if something like that was, again, I didn't see the rumor and I didn't see a lipstick in the picture. Okay, I will bring up the picture again. I did not see that. Okay, take a closer look. It's in a book. It's reading rainbow. Sorry. Couldn't help myself. I didn't see anything. Okay. But he never brought it up. And I think he didn't want to bring it up because he said it himself. I think it was last week's episode. The insinuation is enough for the speculation to continue. So he was trying to not bring it up and just say, you're disparaging me to the other group. You notice that? You notice he did not bring it up. He didn't bring up the specifics. And we still didn't even talk about the DUI. Okay. Maybe during the reunion we'll talk about it. Oh, I forgot about that. Mia says, ever since I saw him on Fox Soul, I knew he wasn't ish. Is that when he was talking about Kimmy and sleeping with Kimmy while she was going through her cancer treatments or in recovery? Mr. Melon Magic says, where was Dusty at this week? No one cares. You're the only one that cared. Okay. Nia says he is married but identifies as single. That was funny to me. Oh my God. Marceau is a mess. All right, let's move on. Speaking of Marceau, Marceau sits down for a conversation between Marquez and Chris Fletcher. So, see, I'm so glad we had this scene, because didn't I tell you, I felt like if Marceau was at the get-together that Trish and Ken had, the conversation with Marquez probably would have been a little bit differently. Because I have to say, Marceau really holds Marquez accountable in regards to the other men on this cast. He really does. So much so that Marquez was upset with Marceau in this conversation. Felt like Marceau didn't have his back. Marquez is a mess, okay? Marquez claims that he was invited to this get-together last minute at Trish's home. I don't know if that's true. He says that his worst fear was to see another man take care of his kids. So Marquez, why weren't you taking care of your kids? I know he's going to say, I was. No, I believe you weren't. If they had to pay you gas money to come see your kids or come up for the graduation, you weren't taking care of your kids. Marquez gets a little frustrated. Well, first of all, Marquez talks about Melody. And he says, do you think that Martel will be upset if I ask Melody out on a date? And then he says, Marceau, can you set me up with Melody? Someone in the comments section on Instagram said they feel like Marceau would be more about setting Marquez up with Trisha before he would set Melody with Marquez. I said, why does that make so much sense? Unique says, there's too many Mars. I know, there's too many Marquez, Marceau, Martel, Maurice. I can't. Melody. I'm like, there's way too many. We got a Trisha and we got Letitia. Lord, can't keep up. Miss Goody, thank you. Miss Goody Two Shoes, thank you for the super chat. Miss Goody Two Shoes says, Maurice is the ultimate gaslighter. Can you imagine the mental warfare Kimmy endures daily? This is probably why Kimmy seems so different. And I know Kimmy went through, of course, her cancer scare, but it started even before that. Oh, and Moses. Thank you, Foxy. And Moses. We got so many names. Okay, all of these names. Ms. Bug says, Chris Fletcher is so handsome. We know, but he ain't ish. Okay. So Marquez mentions that he was flirting with Melody at this party, and Nell, as you saw in the clip, oh, she's blushing. I think you can blush from embarrassment too. Like, oh, I didn't expect that. I don't think Melody was blushing from the fact that she was interested. And look, Marquez is not a bad looking man. However, I think Scorpio is very much like Taurus is. We love pretty things, but if there's no depth, and first of all, you're married to someone else within this group, and it seems like you're a scrub, yeah, we're good. I don't care how cute you are, okay? So he brings up the fact that he's interested. He's interested and he wants Marceau to set him up. Okay. So then they start talking about Marquez and his relationship with Trisha and the kids and things like that. And Marceau is, constantly holding him accountable. He's just like, people that are mad about the kids don't leave the kids. And he said, and he even look, I have to give Marceau credit. Even though he's not in the best place with Martel, he gives Martel credit. He's like, when Martel is having issues with Melody about the kids, like he's distraught about the kids. Distraught about the kids. I don't know if I believe that, but fine. But Marceau gives him credit. And he feels like Marquez is not taking accountability, is not doing what he needs to do. Paula said, I said a nice thing about the Scorpios, Paula. Paula says Campfire is still on us Scorpios. I actually said a nice thing about the Scorpios. Did I say something bad? Did I say something shady about the Scorpios and I didn't realize it? Damn. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Tina says he's too mature. I think you mean immature for Melody. Too immature for Melody, Marquez. So Marquez seems very defensive. He's there for, Chris Fletcher and his support, but he's not here for Marceau holding him accountable. I guess he expected Marceau to have his back no matter what. I don't know why he would think that because Marceau was holding him accountable a few episodes ago. Okay. JH says, honey, Taurus and Scorpio are not sister signs. They're opposites on the zodiac. I feel like you think y'all share traits and likely don't. Actually, we do. If you take a look at some of the characteristics Scorpios do, honey, don't come in here trying to read people, okay? Because you will get read. Chapter closed. And next. All right. Tati says that Marceau can't talk about kids. He's in a household with his, and he's an absentee parent. He does absolutely nothing with them. We can't judge based on what we see on the show. I don't know if he's an absentee parent. I think he might be one of those fathers that does what he feels like he should do, support the family, and Tisha takes care of like the day-to-day. But I don't know if I want to call him an absentee parent. In comparison, because, when we look at a Marquez, that is a absentee parent who's not there at all. Look, Shanika says, yes, we do. Scorpio here. Okay, fine. Hey, Dave Courtney says that Marquez headed out of the restaurant early to skip the bill. I didn't even think about that. Oh, wow. Okay, let's move on from that. So we have Mimosas with Melody, standing on business event. So as I said to you before, when I noticed everyone coming in, I was like, oh, when I saw Nell come in, I was like, oh, Nell is making these other folks that are quite younger than she is, even though she's the elder. She really was putting them to shame. I was like, look at Nell looking good. All right. So this was the first time that folks from the friend group and the cast actually attended a Mimosas with Melody. So you see Marceau come in, and he's actually greeting. I guess these are the Melometers. I'm assuming not just the Melometers attend this event, right? So he's having a good old time. The women are loving him. I have to say, Marceau looked good in his suit with his sunglasses coming in this place. I'm thinking, was this during the day he had his sunglasses on? Anyways, so we see him coming in greeting the Melometers, like, and then he goes to another team. He's greeting them, having a good old time. Then he reveals that Tisha is in Las Vegas celebrating sin with the originator of sin, Mama Wanda. I thought that was hilarious. All right. Moving on. So he arrives. We see that, we see that Marquez arrives with some flowers. I did not get to see the flowers, but why did those flowers look better than the flowers that that Wendy Acefo sent to Eddie Acefo sent to Wendy for her birthday. It still looked better than those flowers. I couldn't see the flowers fully. I mean, they weren't the best, but I was still like, this is still better than what Eddie sent to Wendy on Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay. Anyways, so Marquez ends up giving, well, first of all, Marcel makes a comment about, as they were playing, the Mimosas with Melody event and them talking about business and things like that. Marcel makes a comment like, this is kind of giving Black Espo. And I was like, I mean, y'all do realize the Black Espo was not some sort of unique idea, right? We've been having Espos. I know how to say expo. I'm saying it like they say it. You do realize your business expo wasn't original, right? We've been having business expos for decades. But okay, fine. And Marquez ends up getting up and giving Melody some flowers. Trish notices it. She's like, "Yeah, I'm not surprised he's doing some weird-ish." I mean, it was weird. It was weird, but I guess he's trying to I don't know. It was weird. But I will say, Trish is also giving weird energy. Do you guys think that Trish still has feelings for Marquez? It might be complicated. I think she loves Ken, but I also don't know if I believe 100% that Trish is completely over Marquez. Right? Because isn't he the one that left? So I'm like, what do you guys think? Pinky on my TikTok says, yep, she was a little jealous and annoyed. Look, Elle Fisher says Trisha was jealous. Okay. I've been on the fence about, I don't think she wants to be with him. But then on part of me, it's like, But it was weird. It was weird him bringing flowers to this event and flirting with Melody. Okay. So Marquez being weird, gets up, I guess he's at a separate table, comes across to the other group's table and saying hello to everyone. He's weird. He's a weird, strange person. So he's given a dap to Ken, and then Trisha's looking at her phone, acting like she don't see him, acting like she's trying to send money to the kids. Okay. And she makes a comment like, we're trying to send money to the kids, and here he comes doing this. And then when he walks away, because it's still weird energy between them, Kimmy and Maurice ask, how are things with you guys? And it's like, yeah, we're working on it. Okay. And Marquez is like, yeah, it's weird. Anyways, so Kimmy asks Trisha about, what's going on with them. And Ken makes a comment about, he's coming over here, saying hello, and I'm trying to send money to his children. Here we go. And I get it. I'm not saying that Marquez is innocent. I get the frustration that you're taking care of kids that he's not taking care of. However, here he go with Captain Save-A-Ho. He had to make sure that people knew what he was doing. We didn't need to say that. We didn't need to bring that up. It just gives you're trying to be a martyr, Ken, and apparently you have a habit of doing this for whatever reason. I'm not falling for it, though. I'm noticing a pattern with you. Again, I still think Marquez is trash, and Marquez should definitely be taking care of the children, and I get you might be frustrated with that, but every chance you get, you want to be Captain Save-A-Ho. So you're saying to them, I'm over here trying to send money to his kids. If it was truly genuine, that wouldn't be, that's just something that you're doing. I was like, and again, Marquez is still trash and he should be taking care of his children. But every minute I'm noticing something with you, Ken, you're trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho. And I'm like, C says, Ken said his kids. I thought you was the daddy, Ken. Ooh. Patricia says, I can't stand Ken's bitter ASS. Ooh, Bab says that they mad he not following the storyline. So Lovely Couture says Trish don't want to be saved. Yeah, she want to get back with her old thing. She want to be back with her old thing. Shar, thank you so much for the super chat. Shar says, what's with these male names in Alabama? I don't know. It's killing me, though. Every week, it's killing me. All right, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. If you are a member of the channel, I am going to drop the call link for you guys to call in and share your thoughts before we finish the rest of our recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So let me do that now. Shout out to those of you that are watching on Twitch and Twitter. We see you guys. Hey, Angela. Angela says good morning on Twitter. Let me just drop this call in link for our channel members. Let me do that. I have everything closed. Sorry, y'all. Everything is closed. And don't forget, guys, the Kempire After Dark live experience is coming to Washington, D.C. less than 3 weeks away. There's still some meet and greet tickets available, but there's general admission tickets still available as well. Go get your tickets today. More information on that can be found in the description, along with more information about Factor Meals, who's sponsoring today's live recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And if you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts on the episode as well. Live chat, we'll drop the call link for you guys once we reach, how many people are here? We're almost at 1,800 people, and we're at 500 likes. Let's get to 600 likes, and I will drop the call link for the general audience. Okay. So what else happens at this Mimosas with Melody event? So we had that weird moment. Ken also says, if he was in his early, how old is Ken? He says, if I was in my early 30s, he would beat him up. Again, I know in real life, these are things that people probably say. Fine. And I know this is real life. But we also have to remember the kids could eventually watch this on television, and you're threatening to beat him up on television. And I know he's not the greatest father, and I know the kids are probably fully aware of that. But these comments that you're making doesn't say to me that you're trying to be there for the kids. Just saying. All right. So then we have Melody. She's coming over. She's like, oh, my feet hurt, these shoes. And Marquez is like, I'll rub your feet. Okay, sidebar. I did do a quick TikTok short video last night after I saw that on social media, Marquez post. Okay, I got to bring it up. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to bring it up. So be patient with me, because I thought this was so weird. I have to show it to you. Marquez, someone please make sure that Melody security is around anytime he's around, because this man is scaring the hell out of me. Okay. So Marquez posted on social media this in his Instagram story. One post he puts, Mark Elodie. What in the hell? Okay. Mark Elodie. And then he posts the definition. Hold on. Let me take care of this person in my TikTok. Not y'all posting, it's my birthday, can you cash app? No. Look, why do people do stuff like that? Mods on TikTok, can we take care of that? I'm trying to do a show. Anyways, so Marquez posts on his Instagram story, Mark Elodie, laughing emoji. And then, I guess according to Google AI, Mark Elodie, I guess he posted this in there. Okay. Charmaine says, Charmaine, really? Charmaine says that he is poking. He's being a comedian. It's funny. He's poking at Martel. No, he's not, madam. Look, madam, he's not. He's actually very scary. He put in Google AI. Okay? He put in Google AI, Mark Elodie's relationship seems to be going strong. In a heartfelt post, Melody shares how she and Mark have overcome challenges and grown stronger through prayer and forgiveness. She expresses her gratitude for their relationship and the positive changes they've experienced. It's clear that their bond is rooted in mutual love, respect, and deep connection. What? This is what Google AI said. They don't have a connection. Literally at this event, Melody is like, aren't you married? And that's when Marceau says, he's married, but he identifies as single. Melody's like you do? She's quick, okay? Because I wasn't even ready for that. I wasn't ready. See, that's why Melody and scenes with Marceau are so interesting, because they're both so quick. I was like, what? That is weird. That wasn't funny. If you found that to be funny, who are your favorite comedians? That wasn't funny. Mark Elodie? Security. Okay. Security. That was weird. Oh, Brooklyn Rose. Brooklyn Rose says, I wonder what Google AI says about Marquez and fatherhood. Y'all are quick today. This is Sunday, y'all. That wasn't funny. That was weird. And he decided to post it on social media. He gives weird energy. And look, Marquez is a good-looking guy, don't get me wrong. But the good-looking goes out the window when you don't seem like you're a balanced person. Daphne says Marquez is still married and broke. Melody's not interested. And I think even if he was not married, Melody wouldn't be interested. And even if he had a little money, I don't think she'd be interested. I think he's just weird. Mimi says, who posted that? Marquez, Trisha's ex-husband. Well, soon to be ex-husband. Vanessa says that boy got that ticky ticky boom boom. Jill says that Melody sounds like some fan fiction Chat GPT wrote. Probably. Oh, wait. Kay Saunders says, Kempire, is Marquez from New York originally? I don't know. I don't know where he's from. TNT says that Marceau is a Libra. Oh, okay. JT says, no, Mel would not be interested. Well, he offered to rub her feet, whatever. There was a very interesting interaction between, because Marceau was throwing Marquez on the bus. Didn't you say she blushed? And Melody's just like, what? Didn't you say she blushed? And mind you, he got really perturbed when, isn't Marquez sweet? And he's like, nothing sweet about me. I guess he thought that Marceau was making it seem like he might be gay. Because he got real defensive. Thou do not protest too much. I was like, wait a minute. Are you okay? Sweet does mean other things. I was like, all right. Okay. So who said Marquez is a trust fund baby? Apparently the trust fund did not give him gas money to come see his kids. Okay. Oh, wait, Samantha says Mark Elegy was the caption on the OWN TV preview, Kempire. Real? Okay. Mr. Melon Magic says, we don't claim Marcel. I think you should claim him this week. He was very interesting. He says that Marceau was jealous. It kind of gave that vibe. I'm not going to lie. I haven't been one of the people that have been on the Marceau and Melody train until recently, like the last couple of seasons, because I do notice an energy that probably makes the Espos rise. So Marceau says to Melody that he feels like there's some Marsoldiers in the Melometers. The Melometers were loving them. Melody says, unless there's a draft, there are no Melometers trying to become Marceau soldiers. I will say the Melometers probably don't love Marceau, but some of them probably like him. They probably find him humorous. You saw how those women were giggly towards him when he walked in. I'm just saying. Okay. Moving on. Oh, Tasty says his dad was a big music producer. Okay. Look, so where's the money? If he's a trust fund baby. Just asking. Who was his dad? So when he did the tell me, when he swiped in, he got that from his daddy? Who's his father? Sweet Essence says, we tolerate Marceau. I guess Sweet Essence is a Melometer. Okay. Stay Hydrated says, I love Marceau. I mean, I love Marceau this week. I don't know if I love Marceau in general. I love him this week. He was funny. Miss Cat says that Marquez is creepy in my humble opinion. He never had time to visit Huntsville before now that the cameras are rolling. Interesting how his schedule has changed. Trish may be a liar, but Marquez is very manipulative. Do you think Trish is a liar? Okay, fine. Okay, did you guys let me know who Marquez's father is? Tennessee Girl says, where's the money? Vanessa says, I got to admit, Marceau has that sense of humor. Yeah, I honestly, he was very entertaining in this week's episode. Oh, hold on. I'm losing the comments. Oh, wait. Blue says, did anyone see Mel's face when Marquez touched her? She was annoyed. She probably was not annoyed. Might not be the right adjective. Probably more so like, what you doing, boy? Amia says Marcel's on his way to Africa. Again? Without his family? Oh, damn. Brooklyn Star says Marceau seems happier when Tisha wasn't around. He was a little happy, right? He was having a good time in this episode. He was clapping, he was laughing, he was making comments. He was being messy. All right. Sonny was also in attendance at this Mimosas for Melody situation. And this is when we find out that Moses has been incarcerated. She was like, well, we had some probation violation situation. Oh, Hallie Renee says, I'm a Marsoldier. Okay. Are you also an Espo? I just assume if you're a Marsoldier, you might be an Espo too. Mr. Melon and Magic says Espos fall. Y'all are a mess. Damn, someone said everyone. Oh, wait. Kay Saunders says everyone is happier when Tisha isn't around. Y'all are so mean. Y'all are so mean. Okay. Oh, wait. Lovable Scorpion says, look up Arthur Leon Burnett. Is that his daddy? Hold on. Let me look it up. Because I am going to look it up. I'm going to take the time. I'm going to take the time right now and look up Marquez's father. Look, father. What was the name again? Look, I already forget. Leon. Hold on. Leon Burnett. Let me see. This is his daddy? Huntsville musician. Oh, he died at 72? He was handsome. Is this his father? Musician and travel director Arthur Leon Burnett passed away December. Wait, hold on. Did his father just pass away? Or this is just another Leon? Can we confirm? Because it says he just passed away on Christmas. Is that his dad? It kind of favor him, though. Let me show you. Do I want to show you the picture? Hold on. Can y'all just confirm for me? Is this his father? Marquez's father? Hold on. Elsa says, thank you, Kev, because I just wrote down the name to research later. Is this the same man? Oh, in 2023 he passed away? Why does it say this year, though? Well, the article was published. Oh, no, its article was published on January. See, the years are mixing me up. So he passed away last year. So this is his daddy? Hold on. See, now we're doing a deep dive. Hold on. Let me show you the picture. He was handsome. Hold on. This was his daddy? Again, allegedly, I like to do a lot of research before I bring anything to you guys. This is what you guys are telling me in the live chat about Marquez. Hold on. Let me bring up the picture. Let me bring up the picture of his alleged daddy. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Hold on. So this is Marquez's father? Let me tell you what the article says, because you guys said he's a trust fund baby. So friends and family and community members will gather Sunday for a funeral for Arthur Leon Burnett, a Huntsville musician and business owner. Burnett died on Christmas of last year, according to a statement from his family released today by Ivan Thomas, a president of Intrigue Media Group. He was 72 years old. Is this his daddy? Are y'all sure? I just want to, because I don't be reading somebody's obituary and yep. Asia said, yep, that's his dad. Handsome. I wonder, does he have siblings? Marquez? Burnett found the Media Arts Institute of Alabama in Huntsville, a nonprofit to teach young people digital media production and technology. Okay. Burnett studied at Long Beach State University in California and Oakwood University, then Oakwood College in Huntsville. Over the years, he worked with funk and R&B musicians, including Take Six. Burnett founded the Black History travel company Civil Rights Trail Tours. He also led the Pathways Project, which focuses on training women and minorities who want to enter the tourism industry. His company was featured on the New York Times in 2022. Oh, he does have other kids, because my father was a man of purpose, a visionary, and a family man. He showed us that with God, all things are possible, and he instilled in us the importance of leaving a legacy for the future generations, said his eldest son, Maduna. I can't pronounce the son's name, but it's not Marquez. So all the sons probably have the name starting with an M? Wow. To others, he was a man that made things happen. He had a keen ability to see talent in people before they saw it in themselves. He wanted only the best for those around him. He wanted them to win, and he wasn't concerned about the credit and recognition. He just wanted to win. Burnett is survived by his mother, Ruth Mildred Burnett, his wife, Marcia Adams Burnett, his three sons, Maldonai, Omalde, Miles, and Marquez and his grandchildren. Oh, wait. Maldonado, Miles, and Marquez. All of them had M names. And his grandchildren, Xavier Marquez. Oh, we know Xavier. Oh, we found it. Xavier Marquez. That's Marquez's son, Burnett. Another a junior to the eldest son. And Zaria Maria Burnett. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm sure he was not proud of how Marquez was taking care of his children, though. Because he seemed like a family man that took care of his kids. Just saying. May he rest in peace. Okay. Omisha says that Take 6 has ties to Oakwood College in Huntsville. If I'm not mistaken, some of them attended the college. Look at us getting a little history lesson. He was a good-looking man. This is Marquez's father. Wow. We are nosy in this chat. Well, no, I don't think this is nosy. I think this is us getting perspective and understanding on who Marquez is. And I know some of you said that he's a trust fund baby, but apparently those funds have not been made available to him just yet. Okay. Anyways. Miss Beverly says Marquez is probably the lazy son. Based on what we've seen of Marquez on the show, yeah, every family has one, and Marquez apparently seems to be that one. Okay. T says yes, that's him. He died last year on Christmas. He was my stepfather. Oh, T. So T. Look, since you're the stepfather, can you provide any details on was there a trust fund? Come on, T, we're nosy, but okay, this is the nosy part of us. Look, was there a trust fund? Did Marquez get a trust fund? You don't have to say in the live chat. Call in anonymously. Or send a message anonymously. I want to know. Okay. Let me take a sip. Peggy says, Marquez, you're letting down the family legacy. I mean, again, every family has one. He really is. Wow. Things just got a little bit more interesting. Do I still think that Melody should even consider Marquez? No. No, exactly. Petty Boop says more M names. The entire family. Marquez's family. Oh, Q says Marquez's family actually helps Trish. We all know situations like this too, where the father is trash, but the family helps out. Still doesn't take away from the father being trash. So I wouldn't be surprised that Marquez's family has been there for Trish. Okay? I don't recall if Trish has denied that, but I wouldn't be surprised if the family had been there for the kids. Well, that's true too. HF says anyone can leave money in a trust fund. Does not mean rich. That's why I want to know what's in it. That's why I want to see what's in it. Exactly. Daphne says Marquez is still crazy. His father was the one who was accomplished. It goes back to when we were talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey star Jennifer Aiden. Sidebar: Jennifer Aiden has been removed from the Housewives cruise that they were supposed to be doing. Anyways. All right, we spent way too much time on Marquez. Let's move on. So Sonny reveals at the Mimosas for Melody that Moses is incarcerated. So everyone in the group is like, what? We don't know why. We know why. But at this particular point, the group didn't know why. Yeah, he went to Huntsville when he wasn't supposed to without telling his parole officer, allegedly. I'm just going to say allegedly. Shar says Marquez was spoiled, sounds like. Maybe, or maybe he's just trash. Just saying. Sweet Essence says that I don't think Marquez is a deadbeat. It's the storyline that CK brought him in on for us to believe. He does see his children. You could see your children and still be a deadbeat, right? Like if you're not providing for them. Just saying. But okay, well, look, we don't know the full story. I based on what I've seen of Marquez, he doesn't give an upstanding human being. Especially when he's posting on social media, things like this. Melody, and then has a whole chat GPT description of their relationship that doesn't exist. That's scary. And T said there was no trust fund. Y'all like to make stuff up. And T, according to T, allegedly, Marquez's father was her stepfather. Allegedly. She says There was no trust fund. Again, according to T, I'm so glad I saw the comment, T. T says there was no trust fund. Guys, we're almost at 700. I'm just tickled by all of this. Y'all are a mess. What are we talking about today? There was no trust fund, allegedly, according to T, stepdaughter of the late Leon Burnett. Okay. Guys, we're almost at 700 likes. Don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. We're about to get into some calls, but before we get into that, we have to talk about Nell. So Nell goes shopping for, I guess she's doing like a whole wedding anniversary thing. So she goes to try on the dress. Again, Nell is that girl. Nell looked great in her wedding gown. So Melody shows up and Nell, being overdramatic, she's like, I wanted to reach out to you. I shut down so many times. I just couldn't do it. Okay. But then she says that she's hurt that Melody sort of downplayed their friendship. Okay. She's mad that she downplayed the friendship, and Melody herself has referred to Nell as a mentor. Melody says, well, when I said mentor, I thought that you guys were more mentoring Martel. Okay. I'm like, here's the thing. When I think about it in the perspective of them Melody downplaying her friendship with Nell, we've always looked at Nell and Chris Fletcher when they came into the show that they were sort of mentoring, no matter what word you want to use, being an influence, a counselor for Melody and Martell in their marriage. That's how I viewed them when they first came on the show. Are we playing semantic with words? Maybe. But Melody says, we could have been over this 6 weeks ago if you had told me how you felt. I did feel like that's what Nell was doing when they were in the kitchen. But fine. Melody's like, I just want to move on. Okay? So we just had that scene. I thought it was, okay, fine. Nell likes to harp on things. That's the one thing I will say. Exactly. Mia Price said, what's with the mentoring thing? Like, why are we still even talking about that? But I'm glad that we've moved on. Deb says, doesn't Marquez work at NASA? I mean, he is a bit of a space cadet. Ooh. Okay. I just don't understand why Nell is dramatic. What's Nell's sign? Do we know Nell's sign? She's very dramatic. When she made a big deal about not having a name tag, but she had a room, I was like, okay, you're doing too much. The fact that how many weeks later we're still talking about the whole word mentor, but I'm going to give her grace because for her, it's not about the word mentor. It's about Melody downplaying their friendship. I could understand that. And she's like, I don't want to bring up the fact that I lost my mom, but I was still checking up on you. I mean, I get it. I get why she might still be hurt by it. Okay, fine. However, why didn't Melody attend Chris and Nell's anniversary? What happened there? Picky says that she's an Aquarius. Oh, maybe a little dramatic. Taurus Moon says Nell's doing too much. Shar says that Nell was stuck on the mentoring because that was her role on the show. Yeah, that's how I always viewed her. She might be the mentor and the oldest in the group, and they want to kind of make it seem like she's some old lady, but she looks better than some of y'all on this cast. El Sickleton says, Kemp, you are really villaining today. Oh, am I? Fellow Taurus here. I know El Sickleton. Tennessee Girl said Mel did attend. Why did I hear that she didn't attend? Okay, see how y'all spread misinformation in the chat? A lot of people were saying, because I did see Martel there. So clearly that's why Melody didn't attend. The protective order, okay. But why did Martel go? Okay, fine. D says Mel didn't downplay the friendship. She downplayed the mentor role. But I still feel like she was a mentor. I still feel like Nell was a mentor to both of them in their relationship. Giselle says, I like Miss Nell, but she's a pick-me. Dang. Spectatious says Mel was at the wedding and Martel was at the reception. Oh. Okay, well, that makes sense. So Melody attended the wedding, but Martel was at the reception. Of course. U2Q says that Melody left early. I guess we will see all this play out in the following episodes, but thank you all for knowing the tea and bringing it here. So Melody apparently attended the wedding, but did not attend the reception. Martel attended the reception. Okay. Vanessa, yes, Trisha is an engineer. We found that out last week. You know what? Sweet Essence says because his cheating buddy, Chris Fletcher, invited him. I really do think that Chris Fletcher is not cheating on Nell. I think he really is smitten with Nell. They're a cute couple. Rework says, I call it counseling more than mentoring. But on some level, everyone's going to define that differently. I think you'll call it counseling, but some people might say, well, it's mentoring. And maybe as an older woman, Nell much rather say mentoring than counseling because it maybe gives the idea that, you know, she's an old lady, she's an elder. She doesn't like that. So maybe that's why she's like, I was mentoring. All right. Anyways, live chat, we're going to drop the call link for you guys as well. Don't forget to like the video, guys, if you haven't already. We already have members that are backstage that want to weigh in on the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I can't believe I've been talking this long. I've been talking for an hour and a half because we did some research in between. Let me just say thank you, guys. We have almost 2,000 of you watching our Love and Marriage Huntsville recap. Don't forget to like the video. It's easy. It's free. And don't forget to share the video. And don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget you can hear an audio version of our live recaps on the Kempire podcast. Okay. Also, don't forget the Kempire After Dark Live experience is coming to Washington, D.C. on Friday, January 24th. And then we're coming back to New York City on Friday, February 21st. A live stream option for the New York City show is also available. More information on that will be available in the description. All right. Maurice Aquino, thank you so much for the super chat. Hold on, let me bring this up. They say Trish said when Marquez left, his father stepped in with regards to looking after the children. Marquez got Trish her Boeing engineering job. Oh, or do you mean that Marquez's daddy got Trish her engineering job? But okay, y'all know a lot. Yassi, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, it says, can they go back and come back to a show to show us some homes they built? Wow, Yassi. They did last week. Not Marquez, Martel, remember? Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's get to some callers. Let me put up my disclaimer for the callers, though. Please hold. There we go. All right, callers, please respect the timer so that we can get to all of the callers, all right? The callers do not represent the opinions of the Kempire LLC or our sponsors, and they agree not to use profanity and not to be too derogatory when speaking of the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville or Belle Collective. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch and Twitter as well. We see you guys. Hey, Angela. Hey, blah, 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 blah. That's the name. Okay, blah, blah, blah says, I'm a team Marsoldier. Okay. All right, let's bring Mo Reality first. Hold on, Mo Reality, what did you want to share?
Hey, Campfire.
Hey.
So, yeah, I'm going to just jump right into it. Y'all been sleep on Marceau. He has been hilarious to me.
Okay.
I've always found him to be funny and just he just don't seem to take anything seriously. And the scene with them when Marquez said or offered to rub Melody's feet, did you see how he looked at him? Like, not my work wife. I love them. When it comes to that conversation with her and Maurice, I was just as hot. But Maurice used not just an attorney, but he used to be like a deacon or a minister or something like that in church. You don't remember that? That was revealed in the first season. But I was just like, the way he deflects, Melody treats him, and really a lot of them, the way she compartmentalizes, look, we are at work. And I read that apology as time up on this scene. Let me apologize. We can wrap this little scene up. You are a low tier character and you don't need no more camera time. That's how I read that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mo Reality, for calling in.
Are you going to do another podcast? Zodiac podcast?
Oh, yes, we are. We just haven't decided when.
Oh, okay. I was just checking that out. All right. Have a good day. Have a good Sunday, everybody.
You too. Take care. For those that may have missed it, we did a whole dating and astrology podcast and live show about a little bit over a week ago. So you can check that out on our YouTube channel, but you can also listen to it on the podcast, Kempire. Subscribe today if you haven't already. Daff is backstage. Daff, what did you want to share? How come I can't hear you? Oh, take your AirPods out. We'll give you a second. Okay. Let's give Daff a moment. Let's give Daff a moment. Daff, I'm gonna come back to you. Take your time. All right, we're gonna bring Miss Sharon up next. Miss Sharon, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempar, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Sitting here watching football.
Of course.
Of course. I just wanted to say that this is an unpopular opinion, but it's just my opinion. I believe that Maurice was correct in what he said about Melody, and I'm going to tell you why. Ever since Martel had been caught cheating and it became public, Melody has been bitter. She's been trying to come after Marceau's wife, was it Letitia?
Tisha.
Saying that her husband was doing the same thing, and she was going around. She was also going along with Martell's saying that Marceau had cheated. Then she tried to say that somebody else's man was cheating or whatever. And the way she comes out on the commercials of the show, she's like, why don't you all just come out and say you're cheating or whatever? Let all the lies come out. So I think Melody is bitter and she hasn't healed, and she's trying to put that out on everybody else. And so that's why I believe Maurice was correct.
Oh.
I'm sorry, but
you don't
that's
have to be
how
sorry.
I
That's
saw
your
it.
opinion. All right. Thank you, Miss Sharon, for calling in.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. All right. Let's try Daff again. Hold on. Daff, are you there? I can't hear you. Do me a favor, Daff. Drop out and then call back in. Sometimes that will reset it. Okay. All right. We're gonna bring Miss Brooklyn Star up next. Miss Brooklyn Star, what did you want to share about Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Hey, Compire, how are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm good. I was going to say first with Maurice, I don't like the way he kept trying to make her out to be better Betty because the spotlight is on him and his behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he was just trying to mansplain her. And I just didn't like it at all.
That's the word.
Because he's not used to anybody calling him out because Kimmy don't do it. So also with Nell, the way I thought about mentor, I think they're talking about two different things. I think in the way that Mel is thinking about mentor, it's business-like. Nell, you didn't help me get myself out of the gut, financial gutter. So it doesn't, I think Nell is thinking about it in friendship-wise. And I think they're conflicting the two because in my mind, I was thinking about business. I'm like, no, you ain't helped this girl hustle herself out of financial ruin. That's the way I think about it.
Okay.
And I'll be like, no, you would have to take a back seat because you did not help me get out of this hole.
Yeah. Oh,
and
about that.
I think Marceau was very lighthearted this episode. And you want to know why? It's because Tisha's not there. Because when Tisha is around the group, when Mel is there, her insecurity sucks the air out of the room when it comes to Melanie. She doesn't like Marceau joking with Melanie. Because before, at least season 1, they used to banter and it used to be funny.
Yeah.
But every time she's around, she shows her hand with the insecurity about Mel every time. And it becomes draining. Yeah. And it's not a fun atmosphere, but I enjoyed it. But I feel like everybody was putting on a little bit with the banter and going back and forth. And I liked it.
Okay.
Because you could tell, I'm here for the check. I'm here because, the producer made me. It gave that vibe to me. But that's about it.
Definitely. Thank you, Brooklyn Star, for calling in.
Yeah, no problem. Bye.
Bye. She gave me a different perspective on the whole mentor thing. I was like, okay, maybe their we've kind of alluded to that, maybe their definition on mentor, but I didn't think about the business aspect of it. So that's interesting. That's interesting. But Melody did apologize in this week's episode. I do want to moderate the chat. We don't moderate adults here, but when we have people call in, first of all, people are already nervous calling in. Just because you don't agree with them doesn't mean that it makes it okay for you to make derogatory comments about them in the live chat. You will get blocked. You don't have to agree with everyone here. You don't have to agree with me, but you do have to be respectful. Don't act up. All right. Daff is backstage. We're going to try Daff again. Hold on. Daff?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. I got nervous. I was like, wait.
It worked. But
what's going on?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Just a quick thought. I'm not surprised that Nell is an Aquarian. So am I. And I just found out there was one of the Zodiac lives you did. and I put in, I have to find my birth card to find out the time. Oh boy, when I found out I'm a Cancer rising, it explained a lot.
I'm a Cancer rising too, though.
It's a lot of emotion. So I wouldn't be surprised if Anywho, I was with Trish and Marquez. I know we're talking about that a lot, but he's interesting. With Trish, I don't think that she's jealous. I think there are some people, even after a relationship ends, there is still so much anger. And I think deep down inside, she doesn't realize it, but she hates to hate him. And I think that's where she is. There's so much bitterness that she has towards what happened in their relationship, post-relationship, that I think she still carries that to date. So
yeah, that makes sense.
That's about it. That's my time. Have a blessed week.
You too. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Oh, yeah, and Happy New Year to everyone that's calling in, and Happy New Year to everyone watching, and Happy New Year to our replay crew. I mean, that makes sense in regards to Trish. Maybe it's not jealousy. Maybe it's just remember, their relationship sort of like didn't necessarily have the proper closure. Literally still, I guess they're not divorced. So maybe that's what we're seeing. Maybe she also doesn't like the fact that he's trying to infiltrate this group when... Remember, it was Ken that wanted to come on the show, according to you guys. You told me that in the live chat. Ken was the one who wanted to come on the show, and now she's on the show, and now Marquez is trying to infiltrate the show as well. She's like, I came and have nothing. Interesting. All right, Kari's backstage. We're going to bring Kari up next. Kari, what did you want to share about Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Well, first, before my timer starts, I want to say thank you, Kempire, for telling them to cool down in the chat. That's why I never emailed you, because I got in a chat and I saw that they be getting reckless. And you know my mouth is reckless. So I was like, you know what? Let me just mitigate a problem and just keep myself out of it. So thank you for checking them, because they be getting a little bit too fly. But anyway, let me go on to getting fly myself. I think I agree with one of the other callers. Marceau was a little bit more lighthearted because Tisha wasn't around. But it's not because she sucks all the air out of the room. It's because he could flirt in peace. See, he can't flirt with the woman that he wants to be with when she's around, because she's going to be giving him the side eyes. I don't care what y'all say. Marceau likes Mel. He is attracted to Mel, and he would like to get with Mel. I do not understand why Nell is begging to be a mentor of a failed marriage. Like, I don't understand that. Like, girl, your mentoring clearly didn't work. So why do you even want that title? Just be her friend. Everyone else is begging to get the friend label, and she's giving it to you. And here you go. I want to be a mentor. I don't think a mentor is closer to you than a friend is. And what you're describing is a friendship. So just let it go. Like, stop crying. You cry too much. It's getting on my nerves. And that's it, y'all. Y'all have a nice night.
You too, Kari. Bye. Not getting on my nerves. It's okay to cry. It's all right. All right. All right, let's bring Annie up next. Annie, what did you want to share about Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Hey, Kempire. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you today?
I am good. I tried to call in last week, but my phone was acting up.
Oh.
So here is what I think. Maurice is a butt. He really is.
He's a what?
He's a butthole.
Oh, okay.
He treats Kimmy really bad. He treats the women on the show like they're stupid. He thinks he's smarter than everybody on the show because he's an attorney. And everybody should listen to him. But nobody cares what he thinks. We all know what he said about his wife while she was going through her cancer battle, that she should just give it up at all times to please him. And if you're saying that, then you probably are seeing people on the side because you want that pleasure every day, as he said. And him and Martel are just alike. That's why they got along last week in the episode. He didn't take his brother's side. He went to go see him. And he was agreeing with everything he was saying. So, birds of a feather flock together.
Wow.
And you know, Martel, he's a user. He uses everybody. He uses Mel. He used Mel to get the builder's license. He used another man, his partner now, for a builder's license. He's a user. That's all he is. Okay.
I can agree with that. Thanks, Annie. Bye. When she said the butt thing, I didn't realize she was trying to say, I was like, oh. Oh, all right. Not on this Sunday. Not on this Sunday, guys. We're almost at 900 likes, guys. Don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. I want to say thank you to Dana for the super chat. Dana says, I don't think Mel is bitter because I don't think she wants Martel back, but I do think she's jaded and wants to see Kimmy and Tisha's marriages fail because of what she went through. Do you really think that she wants to see Tisha and Kimmy's marriages to fail? I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I think Melody's not innocent, but I don't think that she wants to see their marriages fail. I think that she does see and know things about those relationships that she doesn't share necessarily. Because remember, a lot of these people know each other's secrets and things like that. I don't think that she wants to see their marriage to fail, though. I really don't. But maybe she takes pleasure in the bumps in the roads of their relationship. I don't know if I want to say that she wants to see their marriage fail. I hope not. Look, I hope not. Samantha, thank you so much for the super chat. Samantha says, hey, Kempire, could you please drop the link again? I think Melody's manager, Dawn Michelle, would like to call in. She's in the chat. Why would Melody's manager want to call in? Thank you, Samantha, for the super chat. I did just drop the call-in link maybe like 2 seconds ago. But I don't think, man, if you are Melody's manager, it's okay to be in the chat, but I don't think that Melody's manager should call in. Because then if I was Melody, I would want a new manager. My manager should not be calling in on the blogs. Just saying. Okay. All right. We have Tina backstage. We're going to bring Tina up next. Tina, what did you want to share?
Empire, Lord have mercy. This live this morning is off the chain, child.
Isn't it always?
And these
Sunday?
People don't know how you operate because you will have any foolishness on your channel. All right, let me hurry up because my time's going to go.
Okay.
Marceau in person is the same way he acts on that show as you see him portraying himself. Because I went to an event and I said, oh, can I take a picture with you? I don't want to get nobody upset. Oh, Trisha. She said, I said, we're not going to have that. I just was playing around. He's the same way. And those M names, oh my God, it's taking me out. Is that the only alphabet they know in Huntsville, Lord Jesus? And did Mel have some work done? Her face is snatched. She looks beautiful. I ain't hating on a girl, but I think she has some work done. And I would love to see the cast. I would love to see the show focus more on the business that they do. Like, Kimmy is a real estate agent. Can we see her showing some homes? Can we see Maurice doing some law? It's just, Carlos, I only come on your live to see what the show is. Last night was the first show that I saw in years because I'm a day one fan of the show. But the last 2 or 3 years, I just come on here on Sunday and listen to you because I don't like it. It's really kind of putting, to me, blacks in a box that all we do is bicker and fight. We can't get along, blah, blah.
And have you been seeing what's been playing out on social media right now?
Yeah, and it's just, they grow up. And that Marquez, oh my God, he is so immature and he reminds me of a mini Martel.
Oh, a lot of people are saying that. Oof. All right. Thank you.
And when are you coming back to Atlanta?
At some point.
All right. Well, Happy New Year. And get these folks together. Get your blocking fingers together.
Uh-oh. I'm going to leave it up to the mods. Our poor mods got to deal with it. A lot of times I'm seeing piecemeal of the comments. I'm not seeing every single comment. So a lot of times I miss a lot of stuff. So I'm also producing a show. They don't know
your channel does not go for that foolishness. We're all about love here.
Yeah, we allow the Melometers, we allow the Espos, we allow the Marsoldiers. We also allow the people that are Team No One here, mostly Team No One.
Right. But we're Team You, so we got your back.
Thank you, Tina. See you in Atlanta soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, we have a couple more callers, guys. It is Sunday. I would like to go enjoy the rest of my Sunday because I don't want to be in the studio and missing out on the beautiful sunshine that's here in New York, if there is. I don't know. All right, let me bring up Vanessa next. Hold on. Vanessa, what did you want to share in regards to Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
Real quick, I always start out when I call, I love you.
Thank you.
Okay. What we didn't see Destiny. I kind of.
Why y'all keep asking about Dusty?
How come she didn't come to the Expo for Mel's Expo? Anyway, I want to touch on two major things really quick.
Okay.
With Nell and Mel, okay, I understand both sides. I think Mel was a little insensitive to Nell when she laughed. That was the episode before when she said, I mentored you. She was like, ah, and she did the twist and the 360.
No.
She was doing too much. Okay, so that was a little insensitive. But Nell, you definitely, I can see why she would be hurt by that. So, but it's not a big deal. Mel did apologize. So, I think they can move on from that. But she was a little insensitive with Nell, I believe.
I forgot about the spin.
Yeah, it was just the way she reacted. If she didn't react like that, I'd have been like, that's not a big deal. Now, in regards to Mel and what's his name? The fake attorney, Martin.
Maurice.
Okay, quick. Mel handled her business. She definitely is not bitter. They just did not treat that girl right. When she got divorced from Dum Dum, they were all like they weren't taking sides, but they didn't give Mel the support she needed. And so I don't think Mel is trying to see, it takes pleasure in seeing the failure of marriages. Yeah. I think she knows stuff like you said. She knows that they're all the same. They're all birds of a feather. So she's like, my ex-husband got blown out the box. It's only a matter of time before y'all's will. Oh. That's what I think Mel is doing. But I don't think she's bitter and she wants to see them fail. Yeah. Not at all. She just knows they're the same. And she's like, all right, mine failed. Look out. Yours is coming. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Anyway, love you.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. One thing I forgot to mention in regards to Melody and Maurice's conversation, she reminded Maurice, or maybe Maurice didn't know this, the fact that they are friends with Martel and hang out with Martel means that she can't be around them. And remember, we talked about this during last season when she mentioned this to her friends. We understood. And now we understand more than ever why she had to draw that line in the sand as to, y'all are cool with him, I can't be cool with him. And the fact that y'all are cool with him and you see what Martel recently did with the whole side chick convention. Hold on, I got the picture. Hold on. I got the picture here. The whole side chick convention. The fact that they did all of this, I don't blame Mel for not wanting to be around these people. Okay? These are and especially the social media behavior lately of Martel, Melody does not want to be around for a lot of reasons, but even beyond just the show, there's a whole reason why she doesn't have a no contact order. This man knows that she went to the DA's office. How do you know I went to the DA's office? Are you following me? Like, there's just a lot of stuff. So she talked about that with Maurice as well in this week's episode. D on Twitter asked, Kempire, when does Real Housewives of Salt Lake City will be back? I believe this week. This week, we should have a new episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I know they've been acting up on social media as well. All right. Black Women is backstage. That's the name. Black Women, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. First, I want to say I love you. I absolutely love you. I'm going to be really, really quick. So for people that keeps calling Mel bitter, I think they need to take that word and throw it in the trash. You have to understand that this is a woman that not only helped these people get on a platform that she spent her money to have on TV, but she also helped them open businesses. She helped them grow businesses. She gave them connections. She gave them resources. And all along, these people knew about the Revenge Key. And these people knew about Ariane before Mel even knew, and they sat at her table, they ate her food, they played in her kid's face, they even played in her face. And now that she has found out, she don't want nothing else to do with them. And the thing is, they are still trying to make her the bad guy. And they're still trying to make her bitter. To me, she's not bitter enough. Because
keep going.
She's not bitter enough because it couldn't have been me. And as far as, she want all their marriages to fail. Let's not forget, it was Wanda and Martel that put it out there about those men cheating. It wasn't Mel. It was Wanda and Martel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm an avid watcher from season 1, episode 1. But I love you, Kempire. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Black Women. Thank you for calling in. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Look, there's been so much time since the show first premiered. I don't remember everything. Okay, I do not remember everything. This is why I rely on you guys, and I also don't watch everything that plays out on social media unless you guys start tagging me or you send me stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that plays out. I rely on the cliff notes of the live chat. A lot of times when we're recapping it, I'm just basing on what I've watched in this week's episode. I can't remember season 1 because season 1 was like 10 years ago. I know it literally wasn't, because based off of OMFG reality TV on Instagram, this was technically season 5, episode 25, which makes me wonder, is Carlos paying them according to season 5 and not season 9? And when I say Carlos, I really mean Own, because Own, it's Own and Carlos. Okay. It's weird. Nanny of the Maroon says, don't forget the Desperate Destiny Dusties. I love the fact that you guys even brought up Destiny. Speaking of Destiny, Jill says, Dust Mites Rise. Nobody missed Dusty. Well, she's back next week. Y'all saw the preview for next week. Destiny's back. You guys have been asking about her. I didn't even bring up Destiny. You guys did. I just hate the fact that she's a Taurus like me. But, Tauruses in reality TV always seem to fail me. It's fine. It's fine. Anyways, thank you guys so much for sending the super chats. Thank you guys for the cash meals, the Venmos, the PayPals, but also thank you for those of you that have liked the video. We're almost at 900 likes. If you haven't already, be sure to continue to like the video. Next week's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville seems like, I have to say, this is not my favorite show to recap or watch, but I have to say the last few episodes, or last season 8 and season 9 that we have so far, has got me like, and it makes me wonder what season 10 is going to look like with everything that's been playing out on social media. And a lot of people have been saying there's way too much negativity that's playing out on social media, that this cast has gone way too far. And I think we went too far when we talked about the side chick Espo. The side chick Espo. So they're going to talk about this. They're going to talk about this. Special case, I love this week's. Honestly, for me, this week's episode really was made by Marceau. So I guess I'm a Marceau soldier. A Marsoldier. There we go. Oh, gosh, not Dust Mites Rise. Y'all are a mess. Okay. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. If you're part of the replay crew, I want to know your thoughts on everything that we talked about. Did you miss Destiny? Did you like Marceau? Are you a Marceau soldier? Or maybe you're an Espo? Let us know. Okay. Anyways, we're going to continue this conversation in the live chat. Well, in the comment section. Shout out to our King's Guards. Shout out to our channel members. I saw we had a few people that became members during the live and before the live. Become a member today. There are a lot of really great perks. We're going to do a separate members only live. It's the beginning of the year, so we're due for one. Okay. So become a member at teamkempire.com/join. And don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience is coming to a city near you. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Podcast. As always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire Radio, head on over to kempireradio.com.